Okay, so let's talk about AGI. That term, artificial general intelligence, it gets thrown around all the time, but what does it actually mean? Like, really? How would we even know if we'd built one? Well, a new paper from a huge team of AI scientists is trying to answer just that. They've come up with a concrete way to not just define AGI, but for the very first time to actually measure it. So, let's get into it.
To really wrap your head around what they're doing, let's try a little thought experiment. Imagine it's your job to grade an AI.
And I don't mean just for one specific task like how good it is at chess or writing code. Nope. You'd have to grade it on, well, on everything that makes a mind, a mind. We're talking about its memory, its ability to reason, how creative it is, the whole shebang.
And that's pretty much exactly what this new framework does. It's basically a standardized test for AGI, one that's designed to cut through all the noise and the hype.
Because, let's be honest, the way we talk about AGI right now is a mess. The paper's authors put it perfectly. They call it a frustratingly nebulous, constantly moving goalpost. And you've seen this, right? Every single time an AI learns a new skill, we just say, oh, well, that's not real intelligence, and we move the goalpost. It makes it basically impossible to track any real progress.
So, the first thing these researchers did was nail down a clear, simple, human-centric definition. They say AGI is an AI that can match or even exceed the cognitive versatility and proficiency of a well-educated adult. The keywords there are versatility and proficiency. It's not about being superhuman at just one thing. It's about being generally capable across a whole range of things, kind of like a person.
Okay, so you've got a definition. But how do you actually test for that? Well, they did something that sounds almost obvious when you hear it. They looked at the only example of general intelligence we actually have, us, humans. I mean, it makes sense, right? If you want to measure human-like intelligence, you should probably start with how we measure intelligence in actual humans.
And that brings us to their three-step framework, which is really clever. Step 1, set the benchmark. We already talked about that, a well-educated adult human. Step 2, use a proven model for what human intelligence even is. For this, they use something called the CHC theory, which is pretty much the most validated gold standard model out there. And then, step 3, and this is the big one, test the AI using the exact same kinds of psychometric tests that have been used to evaluate people for decades.
What you end up with is essentially a report card for AI. It's broken down into 10 core subjects, and to really drive home that point about versatility, each subject is weighted equally. Every single one is worth 10% of the final grade. No single subject is more important than another.
So what are these 10 subjects? Well, here they are. You've got some of the things you totally expect, right? General knowledge, reading and writing, math, standard stuff.